You can choose to accept yourself as you are and work on living a life full of love and ease and joy and comfort in your big body.
How can I when I'm too big to stand and walk?
Hey, welcome back. My name is Nadia. Today we're talking about a fat acceptance activist who is also a self-love guru, a very expensive one who really doesn't want people to lose weight.
I'm a wellness coach, not a weight loss coach. I'm a wellness coach, but we don't touch on dieting. I'm a wellness coach, a fat wellness coach to be more specific. And I work to help other fat people live a life full of love, joy, and confidence in their fat bodies.
This is Caroline. She is a fat acceptance confidence coach and a real life fat person, not a thin white girl. Those are her words, not mine. That is somehow supposed to add value to her services, apparently. I'm not sure. It's already hard for me to see the value because she's basically just packaged all the usual fat acceptance lore into a service where she can charge people to hear all the same stuff they would hear from anyone else in the fat acceptance TikTok space.
I am looking at body love and acceptance as a radical political act. This is for my fat and my fat only. It is 110% possible to love and accept your big, beautiful body exactly as it is. You just have to do the work to unlearn everything you've been taught.
Yeah, just forget everything you thought you knew. Actually, just go ahead and stop thinking even. Then this coaching will really be effective.
Okay, you're fat. Yep, you are fat. You're a big bitch. You live in a big body. You are plus size. You are curvy, whatever. And people are gonna notice. You can either continue to be ashamed of that and try to change your body and just live in self-hatred, or you can choose to accept yourself as you are and work on living a life full of love and ease and joy and comfort in your big body.
Starting off here, her services are being offered on some scammy false dichotomy where you can either continue to hate yourself or you can choose to love yourself and the body you're in. There are more than two options here, and the main one that comes to mind is you could work on your body. But if you noticed, she categorized that as self-hatred.
And try to change your body and just live in self-hatred.
In this context, change your body clearly means lose weight. But fat acceptance won't say lose weight. They'll instead say change your body to make it sound more bizarre or extreme.
So that when your coworker who fucking hates herself makes a comment about your body, you know it has nothing to do with you and everything to do with that bitch's self-hatred.
I am obviously not who she's targeting these services at. She makes it really clear that she's talking to fat babes. But if I were in her target audience, the way she's talking right now would be a huge red flag. She is showing zero compassion for someone else's struggle with self-hatred, but I'm supposed to believe that she cares about mine or even her own.
Nobody hates themselves more than a bitch who used to be fat and then lost weight. And that's because they thought losing weight would be this fix-all magical cure to their self-hatred. But that's not how that works. Weight loss is not the cure to your self-hatred, especially when you're a fat person.
I think you can tell a lot about someone by how they speak about others, and I do not get confident vibes from her.
Of course, that's not to say I have it all my damn self.
I get the impression that she started these services as a way to validate herself through other people.
Nobody, and I mean nobody, will hate themselves more than a bitch who has lost weight and now has to dedicate the rest of their life to maintaining that weight loss.
She put the maintaining in quotes for anyone who can't see it, which is her way of indicating that it's not really possible.
That obsession with their body. Dude, that is so time consuming. It has you releasing takes like Leo did about branding sizes.
The crappy take was this guy telling people to focus their energy basically on what they have instead of everything they don't.
Do I waste my time and lend my energy and focus to what I don't want and what I can't have and attacking brands for not making my fucking size? No. Every single human being is very powerful. You have to be careful with where you put your attention and your focus.
Of course, fat acceptance hated that because it was essentially a reminder that we all have power in where we focus ourselves and our energy. And fat activists prefer to be disempowered.
Can I be the helpless victim?
And it seems to me like this confidence coach is also in the business of disempowering.
Nobody hates themselves more than a bitch who used to be fat and then lost weight. It's just self-hatred on steroids.
Is it just me, or does she not seem delighted that someone could put the work in to lose weight and still struggle with self-love? It seems really important to her that people who are overweight don't choose to lose weight. She emphasizes it in different ways.
If your goal is self-love, acceptance, and to gain confidence, losing weight and changing your body is not how you go about doing that. With love from your favorite fat confidence coach who's been there, done that, and now spends my literal life's work helping people find unconditional self-love and confidence.
And she talks a lot about just learning to love the parts of yourself that you don't like instead of trying to change. A lot of emphasis on not changing.
When you learn to love and accept all parts of yourself, even the hard to love parts, like maybe a big belly, your fupa, an apron belly, flabby arms, skin tags, stretch marks, all of it. Once you accept it, and not even necessarily fully love, just accept that that's a part of you and there's nothing bad or wrong about it. It just is. People can't use that shit against you. The amount of times I get called a fat bitch, people point out my belly, all of these things, it happens quite often. The reason it hurts so much is because you haven't accepted those parts of yourselves as just neutral things.
Oh, please, you can lie to yourself, but don't lie to me.
I feel bad for her if that's something that really happens often, but there actually is an issue with obesity. It's not neutral, and the social consequences might suck, but I can't imagine they suck more than something like losing a foot to diabetes.
So you can just go out and do what you've always wanted to do instead of waiting until you look a certain way.
Her word choice here is trivializing what it means to be overweight or obese in relation to the things that we want to do. It's not just some issue of vanity.
Instead of waiting until you look a certain way.
Looking in the mirror and canceling plans because you're breaking out is not the same thing as being so overweight that you can't play basketball with your kid.
The only thing I regret is I've never been able to be there for them like I want because of my weight. How can I when I'm too big to stand and walk? I feel like I'm missing my son's life, and all I want is to be a good father to him.
Simply flipping the self-love into overdrive isn't going to get that man out of his chair to play basketball with his son. No amount of self-love is going to alter gravity. And that is not to say that self-love can't be the match that sparks positive lifestyle change. But she is specifically addressing obese and overweight people with her services.
I'm a wellness coach, a fat wellness coach to be more specific.
And she won't even acknowledge the actual physical impact it has on people's lives. In her reality, obesity is only a bad thing because of society.
Being big, being fat, being plus size, curvy, whatever, isn't a bad thing. It's only a bad thing because society has deemed it as bad.
This society argument from fat acceptance really shows how little thought gets put into their rhetoric. Because society is not only helping people become obese, it is the main reason that obese people have the quality of life and longevity they do. Because in society, eating so much that you become immobile is met with electric wheelchairs, Uber Eats, virtual doctor's appointments, World of Warcraft,
I'm gonna play some World of Warcraft. That's what I'm gonna do.
Society is the only reason a person can be so overweight that they cannot wipe themselves, and that inability wouldn't become the reason that they retire from life.
But yeah, I have a wand that I use to wipe my butt. And this may be the most embarrassing thing I put on the internet, but again, this is real, this is raw, this is honest.
This is not me making fun of people who can't wipe themselves. This is me making a point about the fat acceptance girlies who try to convince the people around them that obesity would be some kind of superpower if it weren't for society.
You, my friend, have a choice on whether or not you want to continue to uphold that rhetoric.
A choice like hiring a confidence coach, maybe?
So continue hating yourself or do something to feel differently.
Before we jump into this course, has anyone heard of 75 Hard?
So I'm on day 57 of 75 Hard. Okay, so listen up. I have a piece of advice for anyone wanting to start it. If you're wondering if you should or not, one thing I have to say, cut the bullshit. There's no ifs, ands, or buts in the next 2.5 months for you, okay? If you can't do that, come revisit the situation. But if so, you want to be mentally tough, you want to feel sexy from the inside out, baby. I'm telling you, this challenge is everything you need. Just stick to the script, do what you say you're going to do for 2.5 months, and get to it.
It's basically this program that emphasizes discipline, mental resilience, and personal growth. Well, she has her own version of that.
75 fat bitch, not 75 hard.
I would have picked a different name.
In 75 Fat Bitch, we are focusing on connecting to ourselves through self-love, compassion, and confidence. 75 Fat Bitch is looking at self-improvement and self-discovery without the need for shame, restriction, and inflexibility. 75 Fat Bitch is about recognizing that you've always been that bitch. And we're just working on loving that bitch a little bit more, a little bit harder, and a little bit more intentionally.
There's about 5 minutes of her talking about what 75 Fat B is, and it really just seems like she's making it up as she goes. To me, it just seems like her own sort of personal protest to 75 Hard, which she views as restrictive and inflexible. And that's kind of the point.
Because you are beautiful and deserving of love and compassion exactly as you are. Not after 75 days of following some strict made up rules on becoming the best version of yourself.
Proving to ourselves that we can commit ourselves to some kind of program and show up even when we're lacking motivation is an actual way to build confidence. Meanwhile, she seemingly abandoned 75 Fat B on day 23, but buy her course on building new habits.
I have the thing for you. I've reimagined my signature program, Building New Habits, and I am offering you a wicked killer price for it.
Not a chance.
Let's get into her self-love coaching.
If you want to find self-love and acceptance, you have to accept yourself.
It's hard to put a price on wisdom like that, but someone's got to. So how much is self-love going for these days? In her own words, this is a 4-figure investment.
Ooh, this is some high-class
And she won't even talk to those of us who are not ready to make it. In parentheses, she's added under $2,200. The actual cost for her 3-month coaching package is $2,100. That is $700 a month for a coach that won't even take the time to add a bio to her website. And again, in her own words, this is what we will get for that price tag. During our 12 weeks together, I will support you on a uniquely you journey, where we will work together on unlearning old thoughts, beliefs you hold about yourself, your body, and your ability. You will learn new ways to care for yourself, how to set boundaries, how to effectively communicate your needs, to trust your intuition, and to trust your intuition, and how to reconnect to yourself. I'm sorry, I'm only laughing because I don't really know how someone can teach you that, not because I don't value intuition. How to practice self-compassion and shower yourself with the same kind of love and care you give to others. How to radically love and accept yourself as you are, and honestly, so much more.
Got $19.99 for sale for $20.
I am really gonna need the so much more to be spelled out here, because I clicked the first self-confidence workbook that came up on Amazon. It's priced at $12, and the description of what I'm supposed to get from that is a lot more robust than her $2,100 course.
Do you want to know the #1 tip for loving and accepting yourself exactly as you are? Instead of working on trying to change yourself in order to like yourself, work on accepting the parts of yourself you've always felt ashamed of. That's how you do it.
For $2,100, I would expect a lot more than this. Obviously, she can think her coaching is worth whatever she wants to think it's worth. But to me, she just comes off as another one of these grifters who's looking to profit from vulnerable people by telling them what they want to hear. Change is scary for everyone. So having someone tell you that you don't need to change, that you changing won't be necessary for your life to change is...
So that was a lie.
It's a lie. I want to hear what you think though, so I am going to end this one here. Let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for making it all the way to the end if you're still here with me. Give the video a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this one. I'll have another video up soon. Everybody take care, and I will talk to you in the next one.